Monday's rainstorm is also to blame for leaking water at Bayside Middle School in central Saanich. But wet hallways are nothing new for this school. Buckets and mops come out every time it rains because of a roof that's been leaking for more than 20 years. With more, we'll bring in CTV's Chandler Grieve.
Andrew, as one PE teacher put it to me, the school is now offering up surfing classes in the gym. All jokes aside, faculty and parents have reached their boiling point. They say Bayside School needs a new roof and they need the province to help pay for it.
So that would be the water that came down the art room wall on Monday. That amount would have been caught, that much.
It is just one of dozens of buckets collecting water at this school.
So we have another spot where we do have a leak that is quite common here in this room.
Crumbling ceilings, brown-soaked tile, and waterlogged walls. Welcome to class at Bayside Middle. Monday's storm bringing rain right into classrooms.
This would be the #1 problem that we would face, would be our roof, the gym roof and the rest of the school roof as well.
Built in the early 90s, the height of the leaky condo era, the roof has been faulty for decades, and warranty work did little to patch the problem.
Despite having done a major set of renovations or repairs to the roof over the last few years, $300,000 or $400,000 worth, there continue to be a few leaks. We think they're manageable.
But parents and staff hearing stories of kids dodging not balls but buckets in PE class have reached a boiling point.
You know, why is the roof leaking? The school's not that old. You know, it's a metal roof. You'd think that it would be okay.
And there's puddles on the floor and it's not safe for the kids, and it's really unfortunate that the school has a leaky gym.
The school district is now asking the province to help build a new $2.3 million roof. The Ministry of Education says it is aware of the leaking and working on a solution, but the problem apparently not on the minister's radar just yet.
Yeah, so that issue hasn't been brought to my attention yet. If it's fairly new, I can look into that for you and get more details to you.
It's difficult and challenging.
But for the rest of at least this school year, it will be books beside buckets for Bayside students. An early lesson on both meteorology and economics. Now, for now, the district says all of this is just a major inconvenience. There is no mold or health risk. But I just spoke with a member from the Bayside PAC, that's the Parent Advisory Committee, and according to the PAC, a student slipped and fell this year, and as a result of the leak, and suffered a concussion. So clearly the parents are anxious to fix this roof and fix it fast. We will confirm that with the ministry and the district and to follow up on this in the coming days.
Well, if someone's been hurt, that's serious. Thanks, Chandler. Now to Bayside Middle School, where a leaky roof is leading to a flood of complaints. Today we spoke to a woman whose son suffered a concussion after slipping on a puddle inside school. This just a day after the school district assured us the watery classrooms were merely an inconvenience. CTV's Chandler Grieve joins us with more now. Chandler.
Andrew, the buckets are now back in storage, but for how long? The next major rainfall will spring more leaks and more concerns from parents that the hallways at Bayside Middle is a disaster waiting to happen. It is the damage left behind after every rainstorm at Bayside Middle. But that's not all. CTV News has learned one 7th grader in early November suffered a concussion after slipping on a puddle of water inside a classroom.
My son had fallen during drama class, and he had slipped on a puddle on the floor due to the leaky roof and fallen on the back of his head.
Jackson Stretch was taken to the emergency room and diagnosed with a minor head injury. His mother, Heather, then sent an email to both the district and the province explaining her concerns.
That if the puddles in active areas of the school continue, that it wouldn't be the last injury.
But despite the email and the accident being reported to the district, the superintendent told CTV News yesterday the leaking was not a major safety concern.
I think that unless a leak in the roof creates a safety concern, and I don't think for the most part that's the case for Bayside, because where there is a leak, we'll find a bucket.
When asked to clarify his comments today, the superintendent told us over the phone that the slip was a one-off situation and doesn't qualify as a safety issue. The school's Parent Advisory Committee says that's not good enough.
I definitely think the superintendent and the government should be taking note that this is a complete serious safety hazard, a health hazard.
According to a document supplied by the PAC, the district has spent more than $346,000 over the past 12 years to fix the roof, including a $112,000 repair this past summer. Now the province is being asked to help fund an entirely new roof at the cost of $2.3 million. Yet the Minister of Education says this isn't the province's problem.
Have you looked at the situation at Bayside and Brentwood Bay?
No.
No?
No, they're dealing with that at a local level right now.
That's not right, says the opposition.
Kids have been hospitalized, literally. This is a problem that has been going on for a long time, and the Ministry of Education is responsible for capital.
With no fix in place, buckets and Band-Aid solutions are this school's only option in hoping to prevent another injury.
It's an unsafe situation. Eventually someone will get seriously hurt.
Now, after the slipping incident in November, the ministry inspected the roof at Bayside, but in January, the district was informed it would not be receiving funds to replace the roof from the province for this school year. The district plans on applying again with hopes Bayside gets a new roof for the 2016-2017 school year. Andrew?
Well, hopefully that prediction doesn't come true. Someone else will be hurt. Chandler, thank you.
Welcome.
Pressure is mounting on the province to fix the leaky roof at Bayside Middle School. Last week, we took you inside the classrooms and the school gym where buckets are put out every time it rains. Tonight, the community is demanding the Ministry of Education fix the problem once and for all. CTV's Chandler Grieve has more.
Gym class is outside again at Bayside Middle, and last week we showed you why.
We come in the morning and the custodians would wipe up the water.
When it rains, the school's roof leaks in the gym, in the library, and in classrooms.
I think people are just kind of fed up.
Ed Timmermans teaches PE at Bayside, where kids run around dodging buckets.
Send the kids on a buffalo hunt to find the puddles and then mop them up as best you can and put out some buckets and then get on with business.
Staff say the roof has leaked ever since the school opened in 1992, yet only now, after our cameras captured the damage and shared a story of a grade 7 student suffering a concussion as a result of a slip, is the province feeling the pressure to fix the problem. Last week, the Minister of Education told us this is a local issue.
Have you looked at the situation at Bayside and Brentwood Bay?
No.
No?
No, they're dealing with that at a local level right now.
Today, his answer is quite different.
Yeah, I think what's really important is to recognize that we can't have the situation the way it is within that school, the Bayside school, so our ministry staff is going to work closely with the district to find a solution.
Tomorrow, during question period, the opposition will be presenting a petition signed by nearly 500 parents of Bayside School, calling on the province to help cover the $2.6 million to fix the roof.
So it's really hard for me to believe, and certainly for the parents of these children, that the ministry hasn't acted on this and hasn't granted the request by the school to replace this roof.
The school district has also circulated this letter to parents, updating the situation and thanking staff for their continued tolerance of an intolerable situation.
It should not be part of anybody's daily existence in their workplace to have to look for leaks and to dry them up and put buckets out. It's what we have to do because it's the reality of that building.
Tests are currently being done to measure air quality levels inside the school in case of mold. The Saanich School District has spent close to $400,000 over the past decade to patch up leaks and repair damages. Now, a more permanent fix may cost much more. Chandler Grieve, CTV News, Central Saanich.
Good evening. We begin tonight with another bombshell in an ongoing CTV News investigation. The leaky roof situation at Bayside Middle School just got a lot worse. The school has now confirmed the presence of green mold and has been forced to shut down 2 of its classrooms. CTV's Chandler Grieve first broke the story and is back on it tonight.
The library and the art room are now closed off to students at Bayside Middle after air and material testing revealed green mold, a form of airborne fungus, was growing inside the classrooms. The Bayside PAC president says, although not surprising, the findings are extremely disturbing.
Well, I was pretty disgusted. I believe that this testing was only conducted since the PAC commenced the campaign last week.
CTV News first started looking into the leaks last Wednesday, and this is what the Saanich superintendent of schools had to say then about the possibility of mold.
No, there's no indication of there being mold. The building, air circulation works very well.
But after increased pressure from CTV News and parents, the district conducted a test over the weekend.
If you don't observe mold, why would you test for it?
But if there's leaks, isn't there a feeling that it could be behind vinyl or it could be behind drywall, something like that?
That was a bit of a surprise for us.
The district's director of facilities admitting today, in his decade plus on the job, he is not aware of any tests being done for mold at Bayside. This despite the roof leaking since the school opened in 1992.
There were a few circumstances where a ceiling tile was identified with mold, and our staff went in and removed that tile right away, and that was about the extent of the work at any time.
According to the district, the mold, roughly 10 square feet in area, does not pose any health risk to every child, but did admit some persons with immunocompromising illness or other medical conditions might experience adverse effect.
It's not entirely surprising that you've got mold in the walls, but it's disconcerting. It's time for the minister to commit to complete this roof.
But despite saying he is concerned, the minister is still refusing to commit the $1.6 million the province is being asked for to replace the roof.
It's definitely a priority when you look at children's safety, and in this school we want to make sure that children are safe. So we're going to continue to work with the school district to make sure this is resolved.
As for the immediate health concerns at Bayside,
we fully expect to have this issue resolved and classes back in full session on Monday morning.
The rest of the school will be open tomorrow, likely with buckets out. The forecast is calling for rain.
Chandler is live now in studio. You reached out to Island Health today on the potential harmful effects of mold exposure. What have you learned?
Well, Andrew, according to Island Health, some side effects to certain levels of mold are irritation, including red eyes, nose and throat discomfort, and allergic reaction in individuals who are sensitive. The school district says the mold spores found in the classrooms are equal to that of what you would find outside, but obviously students learning next to mold causing quite a lot of concern amongst parents. Andrew, we will stay on this story.
No kidding. Chandler, thank you. Good evening. It took 24 years of leaks and only 2 weeks of news coverage. Bayside Middle School will finally get a new roof. Today, for the first time, the education minister toured the school, seeing firsthand the damage caused by decades of neglect. CTV's Chandler Grieve first broke this story. He has the latest.
Jeez, how did you guys find out I was here? I didn't tell anybody. No, actually, I'm serious.
A startled education minister, not expecting to see our cameras, takes his first look at Bayside Middle and a leaky roof that he is now 100% committed to fix.
Yeah, now that I see the school, I can see where the challenges are. It's a beautiful school, but it's quite spread out and quite complex when you look at the roof design.
2 weeks ago, CTV News first showed you the buckets and shared stories of children slipping in classrooms.
And there's puddles on the floor, and it's not safe for the kids.
When first pressed, the minister brushed Bayside off.
Have you looked at the situation at Bayside in Brentwood Bay?
No.
No?
No, they're dealing with that at a local level right now.
Furious parents then stormed the legislature.
I heard of one classroom when it rains, the electricity has to be turned off in the classroom.
Days later, mold was discovered in 2 classrooms, giving the opposition plenty of firepower.
That if the roof doesn't get replaced, we will continue to have mold discovered in the walls.
With daily pressure from media and parents, the minister finally says the words this school has been waiting for years.
We're 100% committed to make sure that, we no longer have leaks in the roof here at Bayside.
His critics questioning why it took this much attention.
2 weeks ago, he didn't even know where the school was, although his ministry had declined to replace the roof.
The Saanich School District today sent out a letter thanking Bayside staff for 24 years of tolerating an intolerable situation, adding, finally, we have hope for a new roof. But parents at Bayside still only cautiously optimistic.
I think it sounds great. We'll just wait and see.
I will wait until I see roofers up on the building.
Obviously now we're holding our breath to see if now he'll be able to commit to a dollar amount.
The minister says that figure will only come after a design team and architect assess the building, but hopes to have the project done for the start of the 2016-2017 school year. 25 years after the first raindrop fell from the roof.